Good morning. We're still in the morning. In this plenary, our panelists we have asked to stay in the first row so that you may see the screen more easily and to come up when they're presenting. I think we're just going to take the chairs away because we realize when you're sitting here, it's hard for you to see there. So this is just functional design. Will you... I'll keep talking and we'll just... You know that there's this psychological thing that if there's movement, your eyes will always go to the movement. It's sort of some evolutionary thing of humans that when we were hunting to live, we looked for things moving. So I don't know if scientifically you can actually pay attention to me while you see movement. So we just wait a second for it to happen. But this is linked to the fact that we're all human beings. And I think that's not a bad thing to recognize and to be proven to us as we start this thing. So before I start my opening remarks, I would like to make a particular, just one sec. I'll just wait one more minute. Okay, so now you can see the screen. I can assure you this is really worth it because we have some incredible presentations coming and some very good PPTs, and we all want to make sure that you're able to see everything very clearly. So with that, I would like to thank, before we start, in particular the summit chairs, Dr. Sridhar Gautam, Principal Scientist, IIHR, and again, Ms. Lydia Borrell-Damian, Secretary General of Science Europe, for making this opportunity possible. In addition, I would like to present to you my colleagues from our UNESCO team that we're fortunate to have with us here today, Dr. David Oliver Uribe, that you all know probably, and my colleague Ms. Eleni Borsino, who's here also. They're both part of our team, and would like to invite you to feel free to approach them during the event, and if you'd like to discuss areas of cooperation or just to approach them anyway, because we'd really like to work closely with you here and in the follow-up. So this plenary is a policy-level roundtable. The purpose is to surface where governments and institutions across different regions are converging on how to ensure equitable access to publicly funded knowledge, and what system-level conditions are needed to make this work possible in practice. Diamond Open Access is the starting point for the discussion, but the session is not about promoting a single publishing model. It is about policy direction, enabling conditions, and the capacity to implement equitable scholarly publishing as part of an open knowledge ecosystem and as a digital public good. This session focuses on keeping intervention at the policy and system levels, avoiding technical detail, and helping make national and regional experiences comparable. The value of the session lies in identifying shared patterns across different contexts rather than highlighting differences. When listening to speakers, key points to draw out include how Diamond Access or equitable open access is positioned within national or regional policy frameworks, what enabling conditions are being addressed, such as sustainable funding, public interest infrastructure, governance arrangements, licensing, or skills. We've asked also our speakers to come prepared with one policy level lesson or trade-off that others might recognize, and one area where international cooperation could add value over the next 12 to 14 months. Diamond Open Access should consistently be framed as part of a broader open knowledge ecosystem linked to open data, open educational resources, and shared digital infrastructures, and understood as a public interest approach rather than a technical publishing solution. Eleni and David will capture areas of convergence, reoccurring enabling conditions, capacity gaps, and priorities for cooperation as rapporteurs for the session. Brief signals such as there is something we're heading across regions help reinforce synthesis. If the session works well, we hope, our aspiration is, that you will leave with a clear sense that despite different national contexts, the underlying policy challenges and enabling conditions are widely shared. So with that, we will start. Let's move on. We have today, we have a lot of speakers, I'm sorry. We have a Tour du Monde, we have a world tour. We start, our first speaker is from, we're doing it in alphabetical order, just in case you're curious how we decided how this works. We're doing it in alphabetical order based on UNESCO's regional settings. So we start with Africa, and in terms of continent, and we'll move on to the Arab states, to Asia Pacific, and from there to Europe, and then Europe and North America. In terms of UNESCO has cut up the world into Europe and North America as one region, but we have Europe, and we have Europe and North America, and then Latin America and the Caribbean, and then we will have a regional intervention online from Science Europe. So to start with, we're very honored today to have with us from Angola, Her Excellency Ms. Alice de Fatima Pinto de Seita Almeida, Secretary of State, Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Technology and Innovation of Angola, to take the floor. So I'd like to invite Dr. Fatima Pinto de Seita Almeida to the podium.
Good morning again, and I have this opportunity para agradecer novamente pela oportunidade de estar aqui presente. Não tenho uma apresentação como tal, mas apenas falar um pouco sobre as contribuições de Angola para este novo modelo de comunicação científica. O Plano de Desenvolvimento Nacional, portanto, o Plano de Desenvolvimento do nosso país, de Angola, previsto para até 2027, tem num dos seus eixos, dos seus principais eixos, a promoção do desenvolvimento do capital humano, o qual inclui o conhecimento científico. E Angola já, portanto, reconhece que o acesso ao conhecimento é uma condição sine qua non para o desenvolvimento sustentável. Angola também está alinhada com as recomendações da UNESCO sobre a ciência aberta de 2020-21. E está comprometida com o modelo de acesso aberto diamante, como alternativa estratégica para o seu desenvolvimento sustentável. Algumas das iniciativas em desenvolvimento em Angola que passarei a citar: a criação de um repositório de acesso aberto, que tem em desenvolvimento a sua ligação com outras estruturas idênticas de países da mesma língua e da região. A criação de uma rede de revistas científicas. O reforço de editoras universitárias. A capacitação, portanto, é importante a capacitação para que, de facto, essas estruturas possam ser geridas de forma eficiente. Portanto, a capacitação de gestores para repositórios e a capacitação de gestores para bibliotecas. A criação de uma cátedra da UNESCO de ciência aberta, uma ação promovida por uma das nossas instituições de ensino superior, a Universidade Oscar Ribas, e que esperamos que muito brevemente, nos próximos meses, se possa fazer o seu lançamento. E acreditamos que, tanto é uma forma de promoção do acesso ao conhecimento, à inclusão, também à eliminação de barreiras, incluindo as barreiras linguísticas. A nossa política, a Política Nacional de Ciência, Tecnologia e Inovação, data de 2011 e o nosso governo sentiu a necessidade da sua revisão, processo que iniciou em 2022 por causa do contexto atual. Portanto, no sentido de portanto, Angola tem que deixar de ser um país dependente apenas de uma commodity, que no caso era o petróleo, e começar a trabalhar para a diversificação da sua economia. Daí também que a Política Nacional de Ciência, Tecnologia e Inovação se tem que adaptar a este novo contexto. Portanto, a sua revisão teve início e prevê fortalecer a ciência aberta e a integração do acesso aberto diamante. A revisão desta política, tanto e que esperamos que até ao final deste ano, 2026, possamos ter a nova política, tanto iniciou, como disse, há alguns anos. Existe já uma série de recomendações para a nova política. Ainda proximamente, dentro de algum tempo, irá ser feita uma auscultação a alto nível, tanto envolvendo todos os outros departamentos ministeriais que também tutelam instituições onde se realiza investigação e, feita essa auscultação, então estar-se em condições de se produzir um documento final. As recomendações obtidas até ao momento são para melhorar a educação, portanto, tornar a educação como um veículo para a promoção da ciência, da tecnologia e da inovação, melhorar também a formação técnico-profissional e, claro que, fomentar a investigação científica e desenvolvimento. Tudo isto olhando para as prioridades que o país tem, que são a agricultura, uma delas, as energias renováveis, a saúde pública e, claro que não podia deixar de ser a economia digital e as tecnologias de informação e comunicação. Para esta cimeira, e creio que se possa pensar também nessas contribuições como contribuições para o roadmap, que se espera que seja um documento final desta cimeira. As nossas contribuições seriam tanto a consolidação de redes africanas de acesso aberto diamante, a capacitação, portanto, olharmos para a capacitação técnica, o financiamento e a promoção de línguas, de outras línguas no nosso seio, para facilitar uma maior participação, um maior impacto social e um maior impacto social da produção científica, cujo fim último é resolver os problemas das nossas sociedades. Muito obrigada.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you for sharing Angola's national capacity for scholarly publishing within a broader vision of higher education and research. Angola's experience illustrates what it means to build foundations for equitable access in a context where sustainability must be designed in from the start. We're now honored to have with us Professor Khalid Berhada, Professor Mohammed V, University Rabat, and former Director of Higher Education, Ministry of Education, Science, Research, and Innovation, and Director of the UNESCO Chair on Open Education, Morocco. Dr. Berhada will speak on the Moroccan perspective that connects national policy reform with regional networks and multilingual knowledge sharing. Dr. Berhada, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Je profite du service de traduction. Je vais parler en français, si vous permettez. Voilà. Merci, Zeynep. Mesdames et messieurs, chacun en son nom et sa qualité. OK. Honorable assistance, présidente, chancellor, responsable, chers collègues et experts. Très ravi d'être parmi vous aujourd'hui pour participer à ce 3e sommet sur l'accès ouvert diamant, pour partager et échanger ensemble autour de l'accessibilité et le partage de la connaissance en tant que bien commun nécessaire pour le développement de nos sociétés. Je profite, avant de commencer, pour remercier bien évidemment les organisateurs, Dr Sridhar, Dr Lydia et toute l'équipe de l'organisation. Je profite aussi pour remercier la délégation UNESCO représentée parmi nous, donc Madame Zeynab Faoulou, Madame Eleni Borsino et Monsieur David Oribé. Merci beaucoup de m'avoir permis de joindre ce panel prestigieux, de partager nos expériences et particulièrement les initiatives entreprises au niveau de l'enseignement supérieur, mais aussi au niveau de tous les 13 ministères sectoriels sur l'accès ouvert diamant. Voilà. Permettez-moi de souligner juste le shift. Pourquoi on fait cette transition aujourd'hui ? Pour beaucoup de raisons que je présenterai, des aspects politiques, stratégiques, la vision 2020-2030 de l'enseignement supérieur, de la recherche scientifique et de l'innovation au niveau du ministère, mais au niveau de l'enseignement supérieur dans sa globalité. On n'est pas parti directement de l'accès ouvert, qu'on connaît depuis longtemps. Et pourquoi l'accès ouvert diamant aujourd'hui ? Parce qu'on a développé aussi tout au long de ces dernières décennies, un ensemble de choses. Une stratégie sur les ressources éducatives libres, et je remercie l'UNESCO pour avoir mis donc cette stratégie. Le Maroc est partenaire comme tous les autres pays. Initier la stratégie sur la science ouverte aussi en 2024. Tout un ensemble de choses que vous voyez, le gouvernement ouvert, les données libres, la souveraineté digitale aujourd'hui avec la mise en place d'un centre UNESCO catégorie 2, je pense à mon avis le seul en Afrique qui se trouve au Maroc, à Rabat, et tout un ensemble de choses qui permettent aussi de gérer toute la production scientifique, les recherches, les plateformes, les répertoires, etc. Le Public Data Portal, et puis dernièrement un réseau UniTwin, UNESCO aussi, qui englobe 15 chaires à travers le monde. Et ça, c'est une occasion parce que dans ce réseau UniTwin, on parle de l'Open Access, bien évidemment, et du Diamond Open Access. Et puis une chaire et d'autres chaires qu'on espère venir avec d'autres organisations. Deuxième slide, s'il vous plaît. Ah, yes. This one. Thank you. Alors, très rapidement, je vais lister juste au niveau de ce qui se fait côté politique. Ce n'est pas original. On a des politiques, des stratégies, des lois organiques, des lois cadres, et surtout la loi 51-17 qui structure et qui régule tout l'enseignement et la recherche, l'innovation au Maroc. Pas uniquement le ministère de l'enseignement supérieur, mais aussi 13 autres ministères, 13 secteurs, donc régis par les mêmes lois et la stratégie au niveau de la formation, de la recherche et de l'innovation. Le seul ministère qui délivre cette recherche, qui statue dans les recherches, c'est l'enseignement supérieur, la recherche et l'innovation. Et bien évidemment, le droit d'accès au savoir, et j'en passe, tout un ensemble de choses qui évoluent en fonction de ce que évolue aujourd'hui. Donc on est dans un changement. À chaque fois, il y a des choses qui s'ajoutent et on suit, c'est des recommandations, des déclarations, des conventions. Le Maroc adhère et on suit ce mouvement. Alors, la recherche, elle est sectorielle, comme beaucoup de pays, domaines, l'eau, l'énergie, la sécurité, la souveraineté numérique, etc. Mais la philosophie que nous adoptons, c'est ouvrir au maximum, open as possible, but closed when it's necessary. Parfois, on ne peut pas le faire, mais on est obligé. Donc, en termes de gouvernance et de capacité building, toute la recherche scientifique au Maroc se fait par les fonds de l'État. Et on avoisine les 1% du produit intérieur brut, le GDP. Et on n'est pas encore dans un standard, je pense, au niveau de l'UNESCO, le minimum, ça doit être dans les 1%. On est à 0,8, 0,9, je pense, cette année ou l'année prochaine. Voilà. Donc, et ça, c'est très important, dire que tout ce qui se fait par l'argent du contribuable doit être partagé en tant que bien public. On y croit beaucoup à ce principe. Mais cependant, il y a aussi beaucoup de centres de recherche au Maroc, pas uniquement dans les universités. Et je vous donnerai juste un chiffre cette année-là, 2024-25, on a lancé le Plenary à l'université Mohamed VI Polytechnique. C'est une fondation de l'Office chérifien des phosphates. Ils ont beaucoup les moyens. C'est 1 100 millions d'euros. Ça fait pour nous 1 milliard de dirhams. 100 millions d'euros à répartir entre 25 et 26. Et ça, c'est un bailleur de fonds qui est marocain, mais c'est une fondation marocaine par les fonds de l'industrie. On a beaucoup de contrats avec beaucoup d'organisations, beaucoup de compagnies internationales qui financent la recherche. Et donc, ça vous dit des levées de fonds, des projets européens. Horizon 2020, c'est un exemple. Il y a d'autres projets de recherche qui permettent de gérer cette recherche. Il y a aussi, dans les cas de projets européens, l'imposition de publier en diamant Open Access. Et ça, c'est très important. Dans les réseaux University Alliance, comme exemple, on est attaché à CEVIS et à d'autres. Voilà. Donc, le principe, il est basé sur le simple principe du faire, bien évidemment, une recherche interopérable, des infrastructures partagées, pas uniquement au niveau du ministère, des universités, mais du Centre national pour la recherche scientifique et technique. Et le dernier slide, ça va être celui-là. C'est tout simplement, qu'a-t-on fait avec tout ça? Pourquoi? Les lois, les stratégies, les lois cadres. Tout simplement, je dirais l'organisme qui vient après le ministère, et dans le ministère, c'est une structure, c'est l'équivalent un peu du CNRS français, c'est le Centre national pour la recherche scientifique et technique, cette fois, qui a mis en place l'IMIST, c'est l'Institut marocain de l'information scientifique et technique, qui, dans ce cas, il est totalement engagé dans l'accès ouvert diamant, parce qu'on a à peu près, je laisserai ma collègue faire les chiffres après dans une autre présentation, 198 revues en open access, dans la majorité, dans l'accès ouvert diamant, bien évidemment, et ça, c'est une première. Et on a aussi une souveraineté d'un autre type linguistique parce qu'on publie dans les langues officielles qui est l'arabe et l'amazigh. Et ça, c'est une première au Maroc. Au niveau de la région, c'est très fort. Donc, des publications en accès ouvert, diamant, bien évidemment en langue amazigh parce que c'est une langue officielle marocaine. Bien évidemment, le français, on fait beaucoup de promotions aussi pour soutenir, et bien évidemment l'anglais parce que ça reste la langue internationale pour faire de la recherche scientifique. Et je vais terminer avec toute la partie, bien évidemment, en termes de capacité de building, énormément, le Centre national pour la recherche scientifique organise énormément de manifestations, de masterclass pour renforcer, pour sensibiliser et pour aider. Il organise aussi régulièrement des baromètres de recherche pour redresser, pas uniquement pour avoir les statistiques, pour redresser un petit peu avec la tendance internationale. Voilà. Et finalement, pour le partenariat, c'est très essentiel pour un pays comme le Maroc pour être dans un projet de partenariat avec beaucoup de partenaires. Je citerai énormément de partenariats au niveau du ministère, pratiquement avec les 4 coins du monde. Voilà. Ce que je pourrais, comme perspective, voir, c'est faire un peu au niveau de la région Nord-Afrique et des pays arabes, quelque chose un peu similaire, projet de recherche Almasi, moi je dirais format prototype dans la région, parce qu'on a des contextes spécifiques et on duplique, mais il faut dupliquer de manière très intelligente. Le Maroc peut être un hub pour la région du Nord, pour la région arabe, pour l'Afrique. On est très connecté à la commerce, à beaucoup d'organisations en Afrique. Et beaucoup d'universités publiques aujourd'hui sont installées avec leurs chercheurs au niveau des universités africaines. Donc, je pense qu'il y a beaucoup de choses. Il n'y a pas mieux que cette occasion pour créer plus de réseaux et pour finir, je dirais, fédérant les énergies, créant plus de réseaux et impliquer plus de politiques. C'est très essentiel pour la pérennisation des actions. Merci beaucoup de votre attention. Voilà.
Professor Berrada, thank you. Thank you for making this overview of the policy convergence for equitable knowledge systems within the context of Morocco. Our third speaker is from Asia Pacific, our host, India. We're very honored to have with us Dr. Anuradha Agrawal, Project Director, ICAR, Directorate of Knowledge Management in Agriculture. Dr. Agrawal will speak about India's research system, one of the largest in the world, and its significant experience linking open access to strategic sectors and development priorities. Dr. Agrawal? Okay, perhaps we'll come back to Dr. Agrawal. We have another speaker from Asia and the Pacific. We're very honored also to have with us Mr. Arban, Chairman of Relawan Journal, Indonesia, who will speak to us about Indonesia's national journal accreditation system that addresses quality and scale across a diverse higher education landscape. Dr. Arban, the floor is yours.
Good morning, distinguished college speakers and all participants. First of all, thank you to the organizing committee for the invitation. Thank you as well to the presenters and everyone joining this session. My name is Arbain. I come from Indonesia. Today I will share Indonesia's experience in open scholarly publishing. I will focus on policy, infrastructure, and daily publishing practice. Please move to the next slide. Okay. In Indonesia, access to research is treated as public service. We try to make research easy to find, read, and reuse. To do that, we connect several national systems in one ecosystem. And for example, first, PDDIKTI. This one, Higher Education Database. It's managed by Ministry of Higher Education. And it will across all of data institution. Okay, thank you. And also it helps reporting and coordinating at national scale. And the second one is Rama. It seems like Indian. Okay. This one is repository. It supports storing and sharing research output. It works as a central pathway for national research feasibility. For example, if you are a student in Indonesia, after you finish your study, you have to upload all of your thesis in this repository. The third one is Garuda. Garuda is digital reference hub. It helps user discover Indonesian scholarly publication. In this Garuda, we can find more than 4 million research by the Indonesian. It is a national discovery platform used widely by universities. Every single journal should apply in this form in Garuda first before it join in the accreditation in Sinta. And the fourth one, Sinta. Sinta is Science and Technology Index. Sinta evaluates journal, authors, and researcher performance. For example, if you are a lecturer in one university, all of your data can check in this platform. Not only for the local publication, also for the all of the publication, books, and another kinds of the publication. And it also support assessment, mapping, incentive in research publishing. Finally, is about plagiarism detection. In the next slide is Anjani. Open publishing brings benefit, but it also brings risk. When journal grows quickly, quality become uneven. So Indonesia balance growth with clear standard and monitoring. Anjani promotes ethical publishing practice and academic integrity. Plagiarism checks are also used as routine quality control. If you have a problem, for example, if you suppose someone make a plagiarism, you can make a report in this Anjani. And the Anjani teams, the government team will check you make mistake or not. If serious violation happen, a sanction can be applied. The main point is simple. Quality assurance is a coordinated system, not only a single tool. And the next one, because most Indonesian journal use open journal system or OJS, this reduce dependence on commercial platform and expensive services. Today and a few months ago, we have a problem about the gamble website, and all of the some of the journal security has a problem about the gamble website attack the journal website in Indonesia. And with this OJS, the government helps the editor of the journal make a training and then give a training online also with our organization, Relawan Jurnal Indonesia, Indonesian Journal Voluntary. We help all of the journal editor about how to manage journal in submission, peer review, editing, and publishing workflow. Because many journals use OJS, it has become a national backbone. Yesterday, I present the increasing of the journal Indonesia from nothing to 27,000 journal until right now. Yes, this reduced dependence on commercial platform and expensive services because some of the universities also using the digital common and the other platform. But technology alone is not enough. People need skill. That's why the government help the journal editor regularly to conducting training in every single city in Indonesia. So training is key part of the infrastructure story. And the government and universities run regular OJS training program. Training cover workflow, peer review, ethics, and metadata. Over time, this built a strong community of journal managers. And next. Oh, that's the last. Okay. Okay, I'll check. Okay. In Indonesia, many publisher works with limited budget and small editorial teams. Because budgets are limited, many journals charge article fees. The table on, oh, that's not the table. Fees often increase with accreditation level and global indexing. For example, there are 6 levels of the Sinta. The first one, Sinta 1, Sinta 2, Sinta 3, until Sinta 6. If the journal get the best place in the Sinta 1, some journals in Indonesia will automatically make the higher fees for the journal. Because there are the high demand of the scholars in Indonesia, they can pay more than $100, $200 for the publication in Sinta 1 or Sinta 2. And this can pressure research with limited funding. For example, for the master student and undergraduate student, with new policy, they must publish in a journal. After publish, they have to upload in the repository, Rama repository. It may also widen gaps between strong and weaker institutions. We have more than 4,000 universities in Indonesia. So the policy question is clear. How do we fund journal fairly without shifting costs to authors? In Indonesia, this is still a work in progress. We have a problem, but the direction is toward stronger self-funding and capacity support. I think that's all for all of my presentation. Thank you. Do I need to go back? Oh yeah, thank you.
Dear colleagues, we have a very rich program today. We're halfway around the world as I speak. We're very fortunate now. Thank you very much, Dr. Arban, for giving an overview of the Indonesian system. And with that, I'd like to give the floor now to Dr. Anuruddha Agrawal, who will speak to us on India's system in its focus on connecting research. Dr. Agrawal, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon. We are just a few minutes away from lunch, and I'm sure I will not take much time between that and my speech. Are we all excited with this conference so far? Great. So thanks to Dr. Bera and Dr. Sridhar for bringing us together. Coming back on the topic, how the Indian system is supporting open access and outscaling it. Well, in India, we have several organizations devoted towards different aspects of science, technology, education. Each one of us has an integral inbuilt system of knowledge sharing and to a certain extent, diamond open access. To a larger extent, I will say we have other models also, the green access and the gold access. So it's a hybrid system so far as various organizations are concerned. We will be listening from our counterparts of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research maybe tomorrow or day after. So I will not go into their model and primarily speak on what the Indian Council of Agricultural Research is doing. But nonetheless, every organization is very conscious that knowledge sharing is a fundamental requirement for a multilingual, diverse society like we have in India. So while there is knowledge that is freely available, there is also information which needs paid access. So we are, as of today, I will say, in a kind of a hybrid mode as far as access goes. The UNESCO recommendation on open science rightly champions multilingualism. In the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, we have been traditionally conscious about it, and most of the publications that we bring out through our systems will be in, of course, English, but it will also be in our national language, the Hindi, but it will also cater to the regional languages. We have more than 30 languages in our country and many, many dialects existing, but a lot of literature gets converted into the local languages. In fact, if I tell you about the history of Directorate of Knowledge Management, we had a whole section of not only translators in Hindi, but also about 12 translators who would translate in different languages belonging to different states of India. So the multilingual character for knowledge sharing has been an integral part of the Indian Council of Agricultural Research. Unfortunately, over the years, our translators retired and we could not re-employ fresh ones. But now, with technology movement, we have tools. We have tools for easy translation. So we have something called as Bhashini, which is a freely accessible tool where you can convert from English or Hindi to any Indian regional language to a high degree of accuracy. Of course, with science, at the end of the translation, there is a requirement of a human input to check for accuracy. So we are at the stage of evolving and addressing the issue of multilingualism. Again, coming back to UNESCO's recommendation on open science, we are very conscious that whatever we publish in English gets translated to the farmer in his or her local language. So besides our peer-reviewed journals, we have, for instance, in the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, we have 3 primary journals for addressing various aspects of agriculture. We translate the scientific peer-reviewed knowledge to the common farmer's knowledge through our magazines, which are in local languages. And again, there was a system of translation, which we are now thinking of reviving, so that every information gets converted into a form of a local language. And that's in the print form. But more recently, using the portals and the new technology again, IT, ICT, we have developed portals where the farmer can connect through a communication channel, either through his mobile phone or through what we have at the district level, the farmers' center, Krishi Vigyan Kendras, which give primary knowledge to the farmers. So there, either through a person or through a mobile system, voice-related system, they can access all the information required for their agricultural practices. Very recently, the government has announced a portal called the Vistar, which will be integrating all the agriculture-based information that has been captured by the government in terms of the land the farmer holds, the name of the farmer, the family, the crops they are cultivating, and integrating it with the ICR knowledge base. So the knowledge base we have generated over decades in terms of how to raise a crop, how to cater to animal husbandry, how to engage with markets. All those information are getting integrated through these portals, which are again open access. And very recently, the budget allocation has been given towards expansion of this knowledge base. So as a country, we are consciously moving towards more and more open access information, especially to the target audience. So this I'm talking more in terms of farmers right now. Similar exercises have been done for education. So agricultural education, we have developed free portals for students to come and attend their courses, either through written literature, which is open access, or even tutorials which are recorded online by the teachers, so that students can do self-paced learning. So while they do enroll in colleges to get their degrees in agriculture, they also have the option of studying the material at their own pace. So this is another layer of open access that ICR has adopted for agricultural education. So we are doing open access for extension, for education, and for research. It's a slow process, and I will be very interested to listen to the governance and policy models that countries are adopting to support such endeavors. So I look forward to listening from all the countries as to how policy is supporting in terms of providing the money at the end of the day. Because as far as ICT tools are concerned, none of them come free. While ICR has a platform where we are hosting maybe 70 societies to publish their journals, there is still a requirement of fundamental money for the cloud space, of course, thanks to OJS, we don't need the software, but there are certain inbuilt costs that need to be worked out in the long run. And I will be really looking forward to, in this and subsequent sessions, how countries are addressing that. So building and sharing of infrastructure is one aspect that I think we should seriously deliberate and build into our roadmap. And also a concept of developing regional leadership in our open access efforts. So I'm impressed to see that Europe and Latin America have gone quite ahead in these endeavors, and maybe after this conference, we'll look at some South-South collaboration for Asia, Pacific region, and African countries. So I think for this session, I will stop over here and maybe take the issue forward subsequently. Thank you for your patient listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Agarwal. The real key questions on the minds of many, of every system, how can you have a sustainable business model within this ecosystem? And I think this is the preoccupation of much of the discussion. We have now 3 more speakers. I hope that you had a cookie during the break, because we would, if you don't mind, with your indulgence, I'd like to propose that we keep going, because we have incredible speakers and we will be a bit late for lunch. But afterwards, we'll be able to eat, digesting the great knowledge that we have had during this discussion. So with that, we're moving to Europe, and we're very honored to have with us from the North American region, the Europe region, France, Dr. Marine Dacos, National Open Science Coordinator, French Ministry of Higher Education and Research, who will speak about the French model. Please.
Thank you very much. So I'm very happy to have heard about India, and we are convinced that open science is not only for academics and scientists, it's also for people in the society, so for farmers it's very important. Either the article or a translation of an article in language or a reformulation for usage in daily life, so it's very important. So I was asked to present some more information about policy making. So respected chairs and speakers, dear colleagues, I would like to list 4 pillars of needed efforts in order to develop a mature, robust, and high-quality diamond open access publishing landscape. We need open science policies, we need infrastructures, we need funding mechanisms, and we need an international voice. The 4 of them are completely necessary. So I will present the 4 of them. So diamond open access needs open science policies. We need national plans or regional plans or whatever. France is supporting in the plan the open access publishing models that do not require the payment of article possession charges. And I have already mentioned the European Council conclusions during the French presidency, the first one about open science, the second one about open science. We promoted the more qualitative research assessment system which is needed, and we wanted also to develop the academic publishing capacities of the states. And under the Swedish presidency in 2023, The Council conclusion also promoted publication without cost for readers and cost for authors. So these two conclusions, Council conclusions at European level, are reflecting the willingness of European countries to develop their capacities in diamond open access. I see more and more national open access diamond platform in Europe. This will lead to a stronger landscape in the medium term. So we need also diamond infrastructure, services, and publishers. So in France, we have a national roadmap for research infrastructures that supports and certifies over 100 infrastructures. Most of them are particle accelerators, observation ships, flips, data centers, things like that. But we have also open science infrastructures in the roadmap, which is quite important. We need different kind of infrastructures and services. We need dissemination platforms, firstly. These platforms provide visibility, discoverability, and play a role in selecting the best journals in the country. In our roadmap, the largest diamond platform in France is Open Edition. Open Edition hosts more than 600 journals and more than 16,000 books, and have more than 1.4 million documents in open access. We have also other dissemination platforms like Centre Mersenne, Epicence, and Peer Community In. We also need technical services based on open source solution. We have heard about Open Journal System, or OJS, already, but in France we have also developed another layer of this, which is called METOP. METOP is a mature open source service for single source publishing, an natively XML-based workflow, which is important as a complement to OJS. But we need also academic publishers. France has lost control of some of its largest STM, science, technology, and medicine publishers. We should be very careful. The remaining independent French academic publishers are quite fragile, and we need to think about funding mechanism to stop this issue. So concerning the funding mechanisms, as I said, there is a possibility to get direct public funding. There is also the subscribe to open model. There is also the freemium model I already mentioned today. So I will not be, I will be quick. But we have also created the French National Fund for Open Science. This fund has launched 4 calls for projects in the field of diamond open access publishing. We have selected 81 projects and allocated 8 million euros to 4 types of publishing initiative: content development, technological development, training and support services, and resource pooling, because we need to scale up. Besides that, the French ministry also decided to create a plan which is called the French Transition Program toward Open Access. This is a 10-year-long program with 7 million euros. It is done in partnership with the libraries, with the journals, and the platforms. The ministry is providing additional funding, 7 million for 10 years, in order to help the libraries to maintain the current level of spending on a journal with the commitment of the journals. So to participate to the program, the journals have to commit to a planned transition from closed access to open access, mainly in diamond open access. This is very important to make a coalition between the libraries, the publishers, the platforms, and the ministry. So we have also a funding scheme which is coming from French research performing organizations. The CNRS, the largest research performing organization in France, or University of Lorraine, have decided to cancel some journal subscription, and they kept the money saved to fund platforms or journals in diamond. The third type of stakeholder to fund diamond open access is the funder itself. ANR, the French National Research Agency, has devoted significant efforts and funding to the development of Diamond Open Access. They are committed to the Diamond Action Plan, they give money to the European Diamond Capacity Hub, and they are supporting also Open Research Europe, an innovative continental publishing platform. I would like now to discuss about the question of the free rider issue in open science. The free rider issue is particularly acute at the international level. Open science infrastructures are often funded only at local or national level. But when the platforms become international, when they succeed, they attract content from and users from all over the world. And they struggle because they do not charge users. That makes sense. But this creates a free rider problem. Users benefit from services without contributing to the cost. The usage is growing, the spending is growing, but not the flow of money is not growing. This is why SCOS, Spark Europe created SCOS in 2017. This initiative is called Global Sustainability Coalition for Open Science Services. It is a network of organizations committed to secure open science infrastructures. They identify key services and platforms to collect fundings from them. The key service could be in Latin America, in Europe, whatever in the country. They have pledged already 7.5 million euros to support these platforms like Redalic or Software Heritage or things like that. So it's very important to have such a mechanism. I would like to encourage you to support this type of initiative. France is one of the largest contributors to SCOS, alongside Canada and Switzerland. The French fund has already contributed a total of 1.1 million euros to SCOS, mainly non-French initiative. And last but not least, on the funding scheme, I would like to explore with you what could be called consortium-based funding. This mechanism brings together libraries that commit to provide long-term support to a curated list of transparent, high-quality Diamond Open Access journals. Such funding models are currently being piloted for Diamond Open Access in Europe. For example, in Germany, Koala is exploring that. In UK, Open Journal Collective is also doing such a work. So it's interesting to keep on this direction of funding the journals. And I would also like to thank the European Commission that dedicated a lot of funds to support the growth and structuration of the Diamond Open Access landscape. And I want to finish, I want to finish with the question of an international voice, trust and visibility. And I created this map in a plane going to Bangalore with the DOG information. So I asked to no-fee journals, and it was distributed in countries. And as you see, we have 14,000 journals everywhere in the world, and in every continent there are many initiatives. We are strong. Earlier I showed that we were only 13% of the publication, but we have many, many journals, and this could be a strength. And we have many journals in different continents. That's very good for us to know. So these 14 no-fee journals in one continent are poorly visible, I'm afraid. So they will gain visibility through registries and directories like the OAB, the OAG, Diamond Discovery Hub, and things like that. We need to support this kind of services like the Directory of Open Access Journal and others. But it would be a mistake to stop at this stage. While it is important to gather all the Diamond journals in one place, but also they should not remain confined to the Diamond Open Access ecosystem alone. We need to be visible in Google Scholar. We need to be visible in OpenAlex, even if there are many other types of publications and models in these platforms. Because at the end, we need to provide a service to the researcher. And he will not say, okay, I want to read a Diamond Open Access journal. He will say, I want to read a paper, and I want to see it in one interface. Last but not least, I want to address the question of quality and reputation. we know that the diamond model is quite good to reduce the risk of poor publication practices, but the risk is still there. We are not immune for integrity issues. So we need to think about this and to increase the quality and the controls that we do. And the publishing landscape as industry has organized recommendation under the Committee on Publication Ethics, which is SCOPE. And this could be a model for us to draw attention on the question of integrity. And at the end, a cross-regional cooperation could be done to increase the visibility and the credibility of the field. So as a conclusion, I would like to recommend that we should embrace regional diversity as an asset and not as an issue. So we are diverse and that's it. And we need also to ensure balanced representation in the organizations that we would create between publishers, but also with platforms. We need both of them. And we need to set achievable goals, one of them being to increase the trust and visibility of Diamond Open Access. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dacos, and thank you also for addressing directly the question that was asked by the previous speaker on business models that are sustainable and yet within the scope of Diamond Access. Now, I would like to just ask you to reflect on the fact that you're probably tired from going around the world, but the world is huge. It is really big, and it is really worth it, and the discussions we're having here right now really helps to illustrate how interesting it really is when we go into the details of the differences and the convergences. And also the fact that it's a really, really big world. And on that theme, I'd like to go to the North America part of Europe and North America and invite to speak right now Monsieur Rémi Quirion, Chief Scientist of Quebec and from Quebec, Canada. Monsieur Quirion.
Un peu plus d'explications, donc ma présentation en français cette fois-ci. Un peu d'explications sur le Fonds de recherche du Québec, sur INGSA, avant d'entrer plus dans les détails de ce que l'on fait chez nous. Donc, Fonds de recherche du Québec, au Canada, c'est la seule province qui a un fonds de recherche dédié. Et vraiment, c'est financer de la recherche dans toutes les disciplines. La santé, les sciences, le génie, les technologies, les sciences sociales, les sciences humaines, l'art et la culture, et essayer d'avoir des résultats de recherche qui se traduisent en données concrètes pour notre société. Beaucoup de partenariats avec des collègues un peu partout à travers le Canada, avec le gouvernement canadien, mais bien sûr à l'international. Par exemple, avec le Maroc, des collaborations avec le Maroc depuis plusieurs années sur différents sujets. Et ça fait partie de mon rôle. La science en français, très important pour nous aussi, et appuyer des initiatives qui font la promotion de la science en français. Et former la prochaine génération de chercheurs dans toutes les disciplines, mais davantage tout ce qui est à l'intersection, donc vraiment le multidisciplinaire et l'intersectoriel. J'ai des collègues, VP pour chacun des secteurs, en santé, en génie et en sciences sociales, sciences humaines. Du côté du libre accès, côté d'accès aux données, comme j'ai mentionné plus tôt dans la première séance, signé Dora très tôt. Par la suite, la coalition S, c'est une des premières organisations en Amérique du Nord et certainement première au Canada. Et bien sûr, COARA, membre de COARA depuis 2 ans maintenant. Il y a beaucoup d'activités. Carole Jabet, avec Mylène Deschênes, travaille beaucoup sur ce secteur-là pour s'assurer que lorsqu'on définit l'excellence au milieu académique, ce n'est pas basé seulement sur les publications et sur des facteurs d'impact. Bien sûr, c'est important tout ça, mais il faut aller beaucoup plus loin que ça, et l'impact dans notre société est très important. Donc, beaucoup de partenariats, comme je disais, à l'international, et on vient, par exemple, de créer un réseau de chaires en diplomatie scientifique. Donc, on vient de créer 8 nouvelles chaires en diplomatie scientifique qui vont se spécialiser dans différents secteurs de la diplomatie scientifique. Ça peut inclure la gouvernance de l'intelligence artificielle, ça peut inclure l'Arctique, etc., etc. Donc, vraiment déjà 13 pays d'impliqués avec nous dans ces chaires de recherche-là. Et comme je mentionnais, pour nous, très important, très engagé, tout ce qui est libre accès. Mon autre chapeau, comme président du réseau international en conseil scientifique, comme je mentionnais, c'est plus de 6 000 membres dans 130 pays. L'organisation qui a été créée tout d'abord dans le sud global, en Afrique, maintenant avec des chapitres très actifs, c'est très bottom-up, chapitres très actifs un peu partout dans le monde. Et ici, c'est vraiment d'augmenter les capacités en conseil scientifique à nos élus, que ce soit au niveau d'une ville, une municipalité, au niveau d'une région, comme le Québec, ou au niveau d'un pays comme le Canada. Et on fait même partie d'un groupe de consultation pour le secrétaire général des Nations unies. Donc, vraiment, du conseil scientifique à différents niveaux, un peu partout dans le monde. Donc, vraiment, conseil scientifique et diplomatie, très important pour INSA, très bottom-up. Le libre accès est tout à fait essentiel ici. Il faut s'assurer que partout dans le monde, les conseillers scientifiques, les experts ont accès aux publications scientifiques de qualité qu'ils peuvent utiliser facilement ces données-là pour améliorer la qualité des conseils scientifiques qu'ils vont donner à leur patron, si on veut. Donc, très, très, très important. On a créé aussi récemment un réseau international francophone en conseil scientifique. Et si vous êtes intéressés, la prochaine grande conférence d'INSA va avoir lieu en Malaisie en septembre 2027. Et vraiment, ça donne l'opportunité de faire des liens avec les conseillers scientifiques partout dans le monde. On a beaucoup investi au cours des années, tout ce qui est journaux, revues scientifiques au Québec. Si on pense au Canada, il n'y a pas encore de cadre législatif encadrant le libre accès aux publications scientifiques, contrairement à plusieurs pays comme la France, par exemple. Donc, on a quand même des défis chez nous au Canada de ce côté-là. Bien sûr, au Québec, c'est différent. Vous savez, le Canada est une fédération et chaque province est en charge, par exemple, de la santé, de l'éducation et de l'enseignement supérieur. Pour nous, au Québec, on a décidé, il y a déjà quelques années, que le libre accès immédiat aux publications scientifiques était tout à fait essentiel. J'ai déjà parlé de Mylène Deschênes, ma collègue qui est dans la salle ici. Donc, on travaille beaucoup avec les collègues au fédéral pour essayer d'amener le mouvement de libre accès à l'échelle du Canada. On a réussi à faire des progrès. Peut-être c'était mentionné une des questions de l'UNESCO. Est-ce qu'il y a des leçons apprises au cours des dernières années? Je dirais que pendant la COVID, les échanges ont été beaucoup plus fluides, un peu partout dans le monde, incluant au Canada, donc libre accès aux publications scientifiques, aux données scientifiques. C'était plus facile. Maintenant, à cause de la géopolitique un peu partout dans le monde, c'est pas simple. On a un certain recul, souvent basé sur les la sécurité, on doit faire attention. Et là, peut-être qu'on va un peu dans l'autre, le pendule, on va peut-être trop à l'autre extrême. Oui, des fois, il y a vraiment certains dangers du côté de défense, mais peut-être qu'on utilise trop cette excuse-là maintenant et on a un certain recul du côté de libre accès, certainement au Canada. Donc, comme je disais, au Québec, c'est différent. Et on a pris une approche il y a quelques années de faciliter et d'exiger la diffusion en libre accès des résultats de recherche et de soutenir les revues. Un réseau de revues en accès ouvert au Québec. La majorité des revues, plus d'une soixantaine, sont dans le domaine des sciences sociales et des sciences humaines. Et on est à travailler à élargir le nombre de revues que l'on appuie dans différents domaines au Québec. Et bien sûr, les revues financées par le Fonds de recherche du Québec, à tout le moins en partie, publient des articles qui originent de chercheurs ou d'équipes québécoises, mais c'est ouvert à l'international. Ces revues-là veulent recevoir et reçoivent déjà beaucoup d'articles qui proviennent d'Afrique, d'Europe et d'autres régions du monde. Donc vraiment, c'est des revues à vocation très internationale. On a déjà mentionné Érudit, et Tanja, la CEO, est ici, la PDG d'Érudit est dans la salle. Elle va vous parler, je pense que c'est demain qu'il y a une session ou après-demain. Ça fait déjà 25 ans que la plateforme Érudit existe au Québec, au Canada, pour la diffusion numérique et la recherche en libre accès. C'est beaucoup dans le domaine des sciences sociales, des sciences humaines, mais maintenant, encore là, on essaie d'élargir l'impact d'Érudit, bien sûr au Canada, au Québec, mais partout dans le monde. La langue française, la science en français, vous savez, la langue officielle du Québec, c'est le français. Donc, on veille constamment à la vitalité de la langue française chez nous. Ce n'est pas contre l'anglais. On réalise très bien que la majorité des publications scientifiques, c'est en anglais. Mais il faut ouvrir, et c'était mentionné par d'autres conférenciers, il faut ouvrir à d'autres langues. Et pour nous, au Québec, priorisation du côté de la langue française. Et bien sûr, on veut faire ça avec les collègues un peu partout à travers le monde. Donc, on est partenaire de l'Organisation internationale de la francophonie. On est partenaire de l'AEF, l'Association des universités du monde francophone. Donc, il y a beaucoup d'opportunités à travailler avec des collègues un peu partout dans le monde pour bonifier l'impact de la science en français à travers le monde. Et ça a été mentionné, il y a des outils maintenant aussi de traduction basés sur les nouvelles technologies d'intelligence artificielle qui vont aider en ce sens-là du côté des traductions. Donc, le français, pour nous, est vraiment un atout qui contribue à obtenir le soutien financier pour le modèle d'accès ouvert. Pour nous, au gouvernement du Québec, certainement, l'appui à la science en français nous aide à financer tout ce qui approche libre accès niveau diamant. On fait aussi de la recherche dans ce secteur-là. Plusieurs d'entre vous connaissez le professeur Vincent Larivière, qui est à l'Université de Montréal, qui a une chaire UNESCO en sciences ouvertes, qui a une chaire FAQ en découvrabilité des contenus scientifiques en français. Donc là aussi, je pense qu'il est important de valoriser davantage la recherche dans le secteur de la science ouverte et tout ce qui est bibliométrie et libre accès niveau diamant. Donc, on a fait passablement d'investissements au cours des dernières années dans ce secteur-là, mais ce n'était pas suffisant. Donc, on vient de créer de nouveaux journaux. J'ai mentionné qu'on en avait plusieurs dans le domaine des sciences sociales, des sciences humaines, plus d'une soixantaine. Et on a fait un appel à notre communauté de chercheurs au Québec pour créer de nouvelles revues en français dans le domaine de la santé et des sciences de la vie, dans le domaine du génie et des technologies. Certains collègues me disaient, ça va être impossible, vous ne recevrez pas aucune proposition. dans ces secteurs-là de physique, de sciences pures, de génie ou de santé. On en a eu et on finance maintenant 4 nouvelles revues dans ces secteurs-là, 2 du côté santé et 2 du côté plus génie et sciences pures. Donc, on est assez satisfait de tout ça, mais il ne faut pas arrêter. Il faut vraiment continuer à aller davantage et de plus en plus loin. Il ne faut pas laisser personne en arrière. C'est un des grands défis, s'assurer que les technologies que l'on utilise, on continue à bonifier l'impact qu'ils peuvent avoir à travers le monde, qu'on développe des partenariats de recherche, mais des partenariats financiers avec différentes organisations à travers le monde. Et le Fonds de recherche du Québec, certainement, est ouvert à ce type de partenariat-là. Et avec INSA, je pense qu'il y a encore plus d'opportunités pour à la fois bonifier la formation conseil scientifique, mais surtout le libre accès aux publications scientifiques dans toutes les langues et pour nous au Québec en français, pour tous les collègues partout à travers le monde. Et ici, cette semaine, vous allez pouvoir discuter avec Mylène Deschênes, avec Tangia, et aussi, je n'ai pas oublié de parler du réseau, là, CRC aussi, qui vient d'être créé. Vous allez avoir une présentation sur ce nouveau réseau de revues au cours de cette semaine. Encore une fois, merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much, Monsieur Quirion. Now, we've almost finished our tour du monde. We have landed in Latin America. We're still on the other side of the Atlantic. Well, depends which side you're coming from. But we're still on the Americas. And our last continental speaker is Dr. Pedro Ovando, Deputy Director of the National System of Scientific and Humanistic Publications. And the floor is yours.
Just an anthropologist, Norman anthropologist. Thank you again for this opportunity to participate in this panel organized by UNESCO. It's a privilege, to share some guides of our work that we are being developing in Mexico with such a distinguished colleagues in the table whose role is central to policies of science in his countries. I thank you, Senator Barglu, for moderating this panel. I hope that these ideas I'm going to share with you can resonate with the other proposals that I'll be presented. I'm then going to show you the roadmap for the development of an implementation of our national system of academic publication, because that was a presentation of about 25 slides, and I have just 10 minutes, and I'm going to concentrate in the question that the organizer told us that we can develop about that questions. Instead, I will focus on these questions to the organizers sent us and how they can be answered with the system that we are developing. And I'm sorry, speak after all of other panelists because his policies are more robust that we are developing in Mexico, because we start this work in April of the past year. So we're really starting. We're in the design of this policy. I'm going to switch to Spanish because multilingualism is important. So, and it's epistemological justice. So I'm going to start there. Bien, voy a partir de una premisa central. La siguiente, por favor. Y que tiene que ver con que el acceso equitativo al conocimiento no es únicamente un tema técnico, es decir, que sí, por supuesto, las infraestructuras, el financiamiento, un conjunto de elementos que se necesitan para hacer posible el acceso al conocimiento son necesarios, pero fundamentalmente el acceso al conocimiento es una decisión política, es una decisión que en el caso mexicano, pues, digamos, es importante que los estados interpelen la posibilidad de hacer accesible el conocimiento para todos los ciudadanos. Thank you. Y esto tiene que ver entonces con cómo los estados conciben el financiamiento, conciben la evaluación y cómo conciben la relación de la ciencia con la sociedad, si esta es para el desarrollo económico o empresarial o si la ciencia está orientada hacia el bien común y el bienestar social, de manera que el acceso abierto tiene que ver con decisiones políticas también de manera muy estratégica. En el caso mexicano, este debate ha sido, pues ya, como ya había dicho, importante a partir del cambio constitucional. Sin embargo, lo que nosotros hemos, digamos, tenido como punto de arranque justamente para el diseño de este nuevo sistema de publicaciones académicas es la pregunta que nos hizo el panel, ¿no? ¿Qué estrategias deben adoptarse para promover el acceso equitativo al conocimiento y a los resultados de la investigación? Pues primero que nada, yo tendría que decir que lo primero que nosotros vimos es que es muy importante el reconocimiento, es decir, que la labor editorial muchas veces es pues mal de los editores, de las revistas de acceso abierto Diamante, ha sido como subordinado justamente a otro tipo de revistas internacionales y poco reconocido por las propias instituciones y tampoco por el Estado mexicano, de manera que lo primero que queremos hacer es reconocer el trabajo editorial a través de un modelo de evaluación de las revistas que pueda valorar favorablemente todos los esfuerzos que hacen los editores, no solo para publicar artículos científicos, sino para difundir sus resultados, para generar otro tipo de productos que se integren más a la comunicación pública de la ciencia. Por otro lado, también para poder dar un mayor reconocimiento, estamos desarrollando un modelo de evaluación más inclusivo, muy centrado en la integridad y en la calidad de las publicaciones, de manera que podamos incentivar a que estas revistas que se integren al sistema, que hayan sido certificadas por el Ministerio, por la Secretaría de Ciencia y Humanidades y Tecnología del Estado mexicano, pues sean, digamos, como espacios legítimos para que los investigadores vean mucho más comprometidos con publicar en revistas mexicanas de acceso abierto Diamante que en revistas internacionales. Además, es muy importante para nosotros la articulación, digamos, como de lo que mencionaba en la mañana, no articular el Sistema Nacional de Publicaciones con otros sistemas de financiamiento a la investigación. Por ejemplo, los sistemas de financiamiento de investigación en la Secretaría incluyen dentro de sus lineamientos que los resultados de estas investigaciones financiadas con recursos públicos deban ser, por lo menos, tener uno de sus resultados sea un artículo publicado en una revista mexicana de acceso abierto Diamante, además de en revistas internacionales. Entonces, tanto el financiamiento a la investigación como el recurso que se le da de apoyo a los investigadores implican que queremos relacionarlo pues con el sistema de revistas. Otra cosa, ahora, por otro lado, hablamos de reconocimiento y de la integración de los sistemas de evaluación y los sistemas de reconocimiento al trabajo de investigación científica vinculado a las revistas. El que sigue. En el caso del tema del financiamiento, nosotros antes de plantear un número sobre la mesa, un número de millones de pesos y demás, lo que nosotros pensamos es saber exactamente qué es lo que necesitan las revistas, o sea, qué es lo que vamos a financiar, ¿no? Y para ello hicimos el año pasado un diálogo muy grande, un diálogo a nivel nacional con más de 180 editores en todas en 3 regiones del país, e hicimos un diagnóstico de 532 revistas para identificar exactamente qué es lo que necesitan y cuáles son sus disparidades en términos regionales e institucionales, para saber en dónde focalizar entonces el financiamiento. Y nos dimos cuenta que el ecosistema de revistas mexicanas, que está financiado casi en un 80% por instituciones públicas, pues es muy dispar, porque hay instituciones que son muy pequeñas y tienen muy poco presupuesto, hay instituciones muy grandes como la Universidad Nacional Autónoma de México, que tiene 150 revistas y que tienen muchísimo dinero. Entonces, nosotros pensamos que para poder hacer un programa de financiamiento tendríamos que conocer esa diversidad a partir de un diálogo cara a cara con los editores, haciendo focus group. Nos tardamos 3 meses en recorrer varios estados del país hablando con los editores para poder entender cuáles son sus necesidades. Y en ese sentido encontramos algunos pues, hallazgos que son comunes en Latinoamérica, es decir, hay una fuerte precarización del trabajo editorial, ¿no? Para el funcionamiento de las revistas muchas veces solo se tienen equipos de 1, 2, 3 personas, ¿no? para hacer todo el trabajo editorial. También este diálogo, ¿cómo se llama? Diagnóstico que hicimos nos permitió ver que pues, el financiamiento, digamos, las instituciones no siempre tienen un presupuesto fijo para el financiamiento, para mantener la edición de las revistas, sino que su financiamiento y su sostenibilidad descansa en esquemas bastante frágiles, poco estables, muchas veces no tomados en cuenta para la continuidad de las revistas y dependen más bien de la labor voluntaria de los editores e investigadores que quieren continuar estos proyectos. De manera que ese diagnóstico nos hizo pensar que no podemos simplemente hacer un tipo de financiamiento uniforme con un presupuesto fijo para cada una de las revistas, sino que tenemos que hacer un presupuesto un financiamiento más flexible, que tenga distintos rubros para poder de alguna manera solventar distintas necesidades. Ay, perdón. Finalmente, algunas de las cosas que me parece que son importantes como una agenda de cooperación, digamos, interregional, yo creo que tenemos que trabajar regionalmente la construcción de criterios de evaluación sobre la relevancia social de las publicaciones. Hay muchos criterios de evaluación que son muy comunes en todas las regiones y casi todos tienen que ver con temas editoriales, ¿no? Con, ¿cómo se llama?, políticas de revisión por pares, políticas de transparencia, todas son muy parecidas. En realidad ahí no hay mucho que innovar en los criterios de evaluación, más bien queremos innovar en otro tipo de criterios de evaluación que tenga que ver con como la relación entre las publicaciones y su impacto social. Hay algunos indicadores que más bien son bibliométricos que tienen que ver con cómo las publicaciones son citadas en redes sociales o así, pero nosotros estamos pensando en tratar de generar otros criterios para evaluar esa relevancia social y financiar particularmente aquellas revistas que tienen una resonancia social más grande. Otra cosa que creemos que también debemos de colaborar es en el tema de los financiamientos. Creo que hay ya muy buenas experiencias basadas en diagnósticos en donde pues, nos pueden indicar a nivel regional qué financiamientos o qué formas de financiamiento han sido más eficientes, más efectivas, han tenido mejor impacto. A lo mejor podemos hacer una guía regional, ¿no? Digamos, de criterios para tomar en cuenta para diseñar esquemas de financiamiento del modelo de acceso diamante. Y por otro lado, también creo que una de las cosas importantes que podríamos construir regionalmente es desarrollo de soluciones tecnológicas abiertas, es decir, como el ejemplo de ARC, ¿no? Los identificadores persistentes, soluciones de inteligencia artificial para la edición de XLMs, es decir, hay como varias, digamos, podemos reunir, colaborar con capacidades tecnológicas en distintos países para hacer soluciones tecnológicas que beneficien a toda la región y no solo a un país o a una universidad, sino de manera general a las distintas regiones. Entonces, pues muy brevemente son algunas de las ideas que se nos ocurren, o sea, que se me ocurrieron a partir de las preguntas. For closing, I would like to emphasize that the challenge we face, it's widely large, it's not just technologically, also involves a cultural and political dimensions. That involves rethinking evaluation, publication, and infrastructure, means at the same time ask for ourselves what kind of science we want to promote and from whom. From the National System of Scientific and Humanities Publication, our commitment is to move forward to equitable knowledge ecosystems, and social relevance are fundamental for the principles of this system in Mexico. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I think we've done our tour du monde, our world world tour, and we have, I think, several things several key points that are coming up. The issue of sustainability models, of course, has come up, and I thank you for your final points in particular that address this issue in terms of international collaboration. In that regard, I would like we have one last intervention from the President of Science Europe. It's Dr. Ms. Mari Sundi Tevit, who is the President of Science Europe, who is joining us online, who will give some brief remarks. Do you have her, Dr. Tevit, online? Oh, there. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Okay. You have the floor.
Thank you very much. Dear Chair, distinguished colleagues, panelists and participants, it's a great pleasure to join you here today, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to contribute online. As I said before, I would have liked to be there with you. I really want to thank UNESCO for convening this essential session on policy convergence and capacity needs, and I'm very aware that I'm between you and the lunch now, so I'll try to be very, very brief. I think the conversation couldn't be more timely. Around the world, governments, research organizations, scholarly communities, we're all working to reshape the system through which knowledge is created, shared and preserved. And for research funders, this work is obviously fundamental because open access is not simply a technical change, it's a structural transformation. It's a transformation on how we see science and how science serves society. So from the perspective of a national funding organization, the Research Council of Norway, which I lead, I'm the CEO, we've worked for many years to implement the open access agenda. We've been fortunate to operate within strong national policy frameworks. We've used our funding instruments, partnerships, mandates to advance open access, both nationally and internationally. And in recent years, the agenda has clearly shifted. Open access and its implementation is still a national and regional effort, but these efforts are now seen as part of a global conversation. I find that very, very inspiring. And to echo one of the previous speaker, it's been a very exciting conference this far. And it's inspiring to see how this has become a global policy challenge and a global responsibility. We welcome this shift, and we also fully acknowledge the complexities that come with it. And one of the most important lessons that we have learned is that progress depends on joint coordinated action. And this is precisely why we chose to join Coalition S and align our funding requirements with the principle of full and immediate open access when it started. And establishing open licensing norms and then ending embargoes, that was a crucial step in Europe. And today this standard is widely understood and accepted across the continent of Europe and very much increasingly globally. And we must be honest with ourselves. Even with these achievements, we're only partway toward the goal of making research outputs truly public goods. And there's still so much more work to do. And it's fantastic to be able to do it together globally now. We've heard from around the world, so that's fantastic to feel that progress. And I think this work needs to build on the realization that while licenses and zero embargoes, they're important, and but this is not only about access to outputs. Importantly, it's also about equitable access to participate and to do open science. And we must ensure that authors retain the rights to make their publications openly available. And in some cases, this will require changes to legal frameworks. We must continue to decouple research assessment from journal impact factors and align evaluation processes with quality, relevance, and not least integrity. So this is slow structural work, and it must be done collaboratively, persistently, and through networks such as COARA that I'd like to mention. And importantly, we need to ensure that financial resources flow to the infrastructures that sustain scholarly communication, and not just to services, but to the community-led initiatives that preserve and strengthen research ecosystems. And this means shifting from a service logic towards an investment logic and thinking in terms of long-term public infrastructure and not short-term procurement. So the tasks ahead are undeniably complex, and that's why the dialogue in this session is so important. And sustainable open access requires, I think, the meeting of two layers: bottom-up efforts driven by scholarly communities, and top-down action from governments, funders, and policy bodies. And neither level can succeed alone. And international organizations like the UNESCO play a crucial role in bringing these layers together, aligning policy frameworks, providing visibility, and supporting community-led initiatives. So this kind of multi-level coordination is essential for the future that we want to build together. And I think a good illustration of collective investment logic is the Open Research Europe initiative, where European funders are working together to expand an existing platform into a joint European open access publishing venue in the Diamond spirit, even if not yet fully Diamond in governance. But that's only one model. And I want to emphasize strongly that no single model will meet the needs of all communities. And in Europe and globally, we will see initiatives to sustainably flip existing journals into Diamond-style models. We'll see innovative platform-based approaches, preprint-driven publishing systems, and not least new infrastructures emerging also directly from communities. And I think, as many have already mentioned, researchers do value, and I'm a researcher myself, researchers value their journals deeply, we know that. And any viable transition must therefore respect disciplinary diversity and local relevance, and you have to get that community ownership. So as president of Science Europe, representing public research funding and performing organizations across Europe, I want to highlight how crucial it is that policymakers at all levels recognize and strengthen bottom-up community initiatives. And Diamond Open Access is perhaps the clearest example of how scholarly communities themselves are driving innovation, commitment, and sustainability. And in many cases, these communities have been leading the way long before formal policy frameworks caught up. So across our membership, one message is very clear. Top-down action alone cannot deliver sustainable change. Policies, mandates, and frameworks that only work when they align with the values, the infrastructures, and practices developed by researchers and communities. And this top-down collaboration is not optional. It's the only realistic pathway if we want systems that are trusted, resilient, and truly serve the public good. So in this light, I'm particularly pleased to see UNESCO's strong engagement at this summit and UNESCO's ability to convene, coordinate, and amplify the community-led efforts. That's exactly the kind of multi-level collaboration that we need more of, both in Europe and across the world. So for Science Europe, this summit exemplifies exactly the direction that we must continue to take. And we have to ensure that policymakers listen to and work with research communities, and that funding organizations invest in shared infrastructures, and that international organizations help bridge contexts and regions. And only through this sustained collaboration can Diamond, open access, and open science more broadly move forward in a way that's equitable, that's sustainable, and that's globally inclusive. So thank you so very much. I'll release you to go to your lunches now. And I really look forward to following the discussion through these days online. So I wish you very productive and inspiring days there in Bengaluru. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Twit. Thank you very much. Now, we're really going to go. It's almost over. It's finished. I promise. We have no more speakers, and we've done the world tour, and we've had the privilege of having the intervention of Dr. Twit from Science Europe, the president of Science Europe. Just very, 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 very quickly, there are some takeaways, 3 from our very long, very rich Tour du Monde. 1, there's clear policy commitment globally to equitable access to publicly funded knowledge. 2, enabling conditions are well understood. We've had them listed: sustainable funding, very important; public interest digital infrastructure that is interoperable and governed for the common good; 3, capacity development, skills coordination, institutional roles. The third point is research assessment is emerging as a critical leverage point. How we evaluate research shapes what gets published, where and under what conditions. Without reform in assessment systems, Diamond Open Access will remain marginal regardless of policy intent. There's 3 points, and I think they have been underscored throughout the discussions. I'm sure you're tired. You're thinking this was really long, but I hope, and I'm confident, that you perhaps think that this was very enriching. And this is what the world is like. It's very big. The discussions are very intense, but it's really interesting. So with that, I would like to invite all the panelists to please come to the stage so that we can give them a clap of thanks. But please come here so we can see everybody, so we can see how rich this discussion was. And Eleni and David, please also come up. You've been the reporters for this. Please have. Eleni, please.
Conducting this plenary session 1 on global and regional roundtable policy convergence and capacity needs in a very efficient manner. I thank all the speakers and the rapporteurs of this session, David, Eleni, and Anupa. And I request our director, Dr. Tushar Kanti Bera. We have to honor 2 speakers here, Mr. Khalid and Arbin. Okay. Yeah, sir, please. Yeah, this is for Khalid. Yeah, I request all of you to stay there. This is for Khalid and Arbin. Yeah, Khalid, sir, Khalid we have to give one. Mr. Khalid, can you come forward? Urban, yeah. Khalid and Urban. Yeah. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be breaking for lunch. Lunch break is only for 40 minutes. Kindly maintain the times because we have 2 more sessions to go and 1 high-level committee meeting is there, and 6 o'clock we have a cultural program followed by dinner. So I request all of you to kindly finish your lunch, take 40 minutes break and get back. Thank you one and all.